From the station that's on your side, you're watching Friends at 5.
Good evening and thanks for joining us for Friends at 5 on this Tuesday. I'm Darcy Strickland.
And I'm Andrea Mock. Finally, the Brett Parker double murder jury has the case. They have just started deliberating.
The judge charged the jury just a short while ago, giving them their instructions. News 19's J.R. Berry is at the courthouse and he is leading our coverage this evening. J.R.
Ladies, yes, the jury got the case just a few moments ago inside courtroom 2A here at the Richland County Judicial Center. This has been a 13-day trial of testimony, arguments, opening and closing arguments. And in their closing arguments today, both the defense and the prosecution trying to plead with the jury their case. The prosecution saying the facts in this case simply don't add up. The defense, of course, saying this was self-defense and that so many law enforcement officers were on this case that they could have found anybody guilty of this crime. Take a listen.
All the Treasury Department are going to buy it for your family. All of the forensic people that they hired, they had all of these people. And all Brett had was Mark Whitlark and myself. But today he's got something more. He's got the truth. And he's got a jury. And we thank you for being here.
It either happened the way the defendant said it did, and he didn't kill Tammy, Brian killed Tammy, or it happened the way the evidence, credible evidence, in this case supports.
Brett Parker accused, of course, of killing his wife, Tammy Parker, and his friend Brian Kapnerhurst on Friday, April 13th of last year. Dakari Turner joining me now. You've been in the courtroom throughout this entire process. Your take on closing arguments today. Do you think the defense, the prosecution, do you think they both had good arguments in front of the jury?
Well, JR, I'll have to say, I think both of them made compelling arguments. The closing arguments rather, lasted about 3 hours between both sides. The defense the prosecution pointed numerous times to what they called a cold-blooded murder. They said this case reeks of malice at times. And I think what the defense did a great job of is pointing anything to what they called reasonable doubt. They pointed many times using the phrase, they called it an oppressive prosecution, saying that during opening statements, defense attorney Mark Whitlark pointed that with all the agents that were investigating the case, they could have indicted Mother Teresa. He again channeled some of those words, some of that same attitude there in his closing arguments. He said that apparently this is a murder by gambling, that the defense, or excuse me, the prosecution zeroed in on the fact that Brett Parker was a known gambler and decided to go after him for that.
Of course, the prosecution saying the motive was money in this because of gambling debts, so it remains to be seen. The jury got the case, what, about 10-15 minutes ago?
I'd say about that, JR, about 5-10 minutes ago.
All right, Dakari, thank you so much. So, ladies, yeah, the jury just got the case in this high-profile double murder trial that's been going on now for the last 3 weeks. 13 days of testimony, 13 days of arguments. We're going to be here. We'll have more coming up later on Friends at 5.
All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Looking forward to your next update.